Hello and warm welcome to all of you. So students and others, welcome back to my YouTube channel. So today I am here again with another video which is for class 7th. Subject is social science and topic is from NCERT book. Now, you must be wondering what teacher is trying to teach us new today. So here I've pasted one image for all of you. Think from this image what are we trying to study. No, it's not skyscrapers, it's not USA, it's not Dubai. It's something which is very much relevant to our neighborhood and surroundings. Any idea? Any idea of what are we going to study today? Today we are going to study about human environment and how human environment is having settlement, how it is having transport and how it is having communication with other people in its environment. So that image was basically to show settlement, modes of transport and how human communicates in his environment. So before wasting further time, let's start our today's topic. Now, now students, if I ask you one question, a very simple question, what do you mean by settlement? I'm sure you must be knowing this and you all will give me one basic answer. Ma'am, settlement means the places where we live, the places where we reside and settle. Our houses are known as settlement. But the concept of settlement students is much more broader and wider. Now, settlements can be defined as various other definitions. So, I have pasted two pictures over here. You need to think, analyze what type of settlement this picture is having. Fine students. So, pause this video for 30 seconds or 20 seconds and see. In the first image, we can see there are so many clusters of houses. They are so nearby. There is not enough space between them. They are compact. They are packed. Yes, they are compact. Why? Because there is very less space. But on the other hand side, in the picture number 2 students, we can see that one house is over here. Even I can see one is over here, we can see one over here and 3 4 here and one near the river. So we can see that there is lot of distance between these houses. There is lot of distance also, margin is also there. They are not overly crowded and populated. They are having long distances between them. Now distance between this house and this house. So we can say that there is fallow. So we can say this is scattered. Yes. Now the concept is clear to all of you. So settlement in basic terms, in basic language, settlement means the places where people together settle. Now people settle in two places, either in towns or in villages. So first, this image can be example of town settlement. क्योंकि टाउन्स में हम अधिकतर देखते हैं वी आर हैविंग कॉम्पैक्ट हाउसेज दे आर वेरी नियर देयर इज नो इनफ गैप स्पेस एंड डिस्टेंस बिटवीन देम दे आर वेरी नियर टू ईच अदर यू नो बहुत सटे सटे घर होते हैं एंड वी कैन ऑल्सो से पीपल ऑल्सो लिव इन रिसाइड इन रूरल एरियाज नाउ इफ वी आर स्पीकिंग ऑफ रूरल एरियाज we think that there are villages. Now how are the houses in villages? I'm sure most of you have visited your village, your native place and played in the ponds and pool and small lakes. So you must have seen that there is lot of gap and distance between two houses. A gap of let's say 500 meters or even more, right? So they are very scattered, they are not very close. आराम से उनके पास खुली जगह होती है. They are having house, front veranda, front playground, open courtyard, back open courtyard and each and everything. So they are not compact, they are actually scattered in nature. And scattered is SCATTERED. So they are scattered. So today we'll be dealing about two types of settlement. Settlement in towns and settlement in rural areas, specifically villages, small villages. What type of features they are having, what are their characteristics, and how we can compare and contrast these two type of settlements. Size तो है, distance तो issue है ही है, and there are yet other factors. So we'll study today one by one. Now, as we discussed above, settlements are places where people build their homes. If we are building our homes, we are staying in one particular places, others will also see, come and build their home beside us. Now, seeing them, others will come and build. Subsequently, more people will come and keep on building. So now if there are more than 5 to 7, now if there are 5 to 7 houses in any area, any place, so we can say people are settling over there. So that is known as settlements. Now early human beings used to live on trees and in caves. We saw how they used to stay in the tree houses. Yes, this was the house and this was made on the top of a tree. And in caves, we also saw they used to live in caves. Yes, yes. So, early people had two types of settlements. A place that a group of people have built and live in, where few or no people lived before. The process of people starting to live in a place. Now, students, this example is very much relevant with this picture. For example, this place was having so many forests. Yes, we can see so many forest and open area. Now suppose this was the first house. This was the second house which was made, and later on all these people started making houses and started this type of settlement. We can say 10 or 15 families are living in this place. पहले तो यहाँ पे कोई नहीं रहता था, धीरे धीरे सबने देख के बनाना शुरू किया. So that is known as settlement. Fine. Now, we have just now discussed what is settlement. Now, what are the types of settlement? Now, you must be thinking, ma'am, people are staying there for longer periods of time, for 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, and there are also people who are living for 3 months, 6 months. So why are they making so huge houses, luxury houses, even if they want to shift after 4 to 6 months? So we can divide the settlement. We can compare and divide the settlement into two types. First is permanent settlement and second will be temporary settlement. Now, permanent settlement means everything is permanent. Houses are permanent, people are permanent. For the time being, whichever they are staying, whenever they are staying, that is permanent. So, settlement which are occupied for a longer period of time, more than 5 years, 7 years, 10 years, because people are investing a huge amount of money and hard work in their house. So they need to stay for 5 or 10 years. This can be the minimum duration. So this is known as permanent settlement. Now we can see this house. It is such beautifully decorated and built. Now when people are staying in a particular area for 3 months, 4 months, 6 months, that is temporary. That is not permanent because they will eventually shift. Now settlements which are occupied for a short living time, living in deep forests. Okay, if you want to go and live near Himachal forest, you will say, no, I want to explore the beauty of Himachal, beautiful Himachali forest. I want to live over here. But you cannot permanently vacate this home and come and stay in this place. So you will do one thing. You will come, you will stay for 3 to 4 months or even less. You will enjoy and explore the beauty and then you will go back. So that process of staying is known as temporary settlement. Now, short time people living in deep forest, hot and cold deserts and mountains often dwell in such type of temporary settlements. Now, those people who want to experience cold deserts, for example, Rajasthan, for example, mountain areas such as Nainital, Leh, Ladakh. So, people will not stay here for a period of 5-10 years. They will go, enjoy that time period, have vacation. They will make temporary. पक्का घर तो ऐसा नहीं बनाएंगे because that involves huge amount of money, labor and hard work. So they will make houses of caves, tree houses, stay, enjoy and come back. So that is temporary settlement. Now, think and then tell me, why do you think There are reasons behind temporary and permanent settlement. You need to prepare a list of both. So in this question, I need all of you to answer me. Prepare a list of advantages and disadvantages, because you need to tell me the reasons behind temporary settlement में क्यों people रहते हैं and why they stay in permanent settlement, along with examples also. Fine. I also need examples that you need to tell me. Fine. So this you will comment in the chat box, whosoever is watching this video. Now, I have one question for you before we proceed further. Which type of settlement is occupied for a short time? Short time, keep in mind, keeping that time frame in mind, 3 months, 2 months, 5 months, 6 months. Is it permanent? No. We stay for a period of 5 to 7 years maximum. It is temporary, because temporary is short time. Fine. Now, okay, now students, I have also pasted again 2 pictures for all of you. Now what can you find from these images? ये आपको क्या पता चल रहा है? Okay, if I say that this is an image of a village or rural area, this can be concluded as city. You know why? Because we can see huge buildings, skyscraper buildings are there, बहुत नजदीक घर बने हुए हैं, very compact type of settlement. Whereas on the other hand side we can see that how houses are scattered, there is too much of distance. We can see greenery. Can we see greenery in all in this image? Can we see grasses in this image? We can only see huge and tall buildings, but we can see greenery, plants, shrubs, mountains. So we can say this is a village and this is a city. Yes. Now, what do you mean by scattered and compact settlement? We just now saw that there were 2 pictures having, one was having दूर दूर घर थे, mountains थे. So that is known as scattered settlement. So they are found in the village area. Fine. What do you mean by compact settlement? कहाँ पे मिलते हैं नजदीक घर में, जहाँ पे places नहीं होती और घर बनाने की? They are found in cities. Fine. So these are the 2 difference between compact and settlement. Now, further settlement can be classified into scattered and compact, which we have already discussed. Now this image is a perfect example of scattered, because rural setting is there. We can see how we can have greens, open areas, mountains are also visible. We can see forests are also there. Then we can see that there are houses, they are not very much closer, they are having good amount of distance between them. So these things are found in rural settlement, especially in villages. In a scattered settlement, dwellings are spaced over an extensive area. They have a huge area. Expensive area means लंबा सा बहुत बड़ा सा एरिया होता है, and settlement is scattered over there. But when we come to compact settlement, it is an urban settlement which is found only in cities. Yes, only in cities. Then compact settlement is closely built area of dwellings. कहीं पे आपको यहाँ पे gap दिख रहा है? I can see the gap. Okay, can you see there is greenery? There is mountains? No. So we can see that this is compact settlement. It is there in cities where flat land is only available. There is no variations in land. Variations in land means you can see plains, mountains, forest, but here flat land is there and you have to build your houses and buildings in this flat area. Fine. So this type of settlements are compact and scattered settlement. Now, in rural areas, people build houses to suit their environment. Definitely, they will think that what type of environment we are having, we will build that type of area. Suppose in Rajasthan, they are having mud houses. Yes, And suppose in Himachal Pradesh they are having houses with roofs such as this type of roofing is there, because वहाँ पे snowfall होती है, so they have to save their homes. So this is found in Himachal Pradesh. And Rajasthan में there are mud houses. Why? Because there is extreme summer, scorching heat is there. So जहाँ पे उनका environment होगा, in rural areas people will build that type of houses for them. Slanting roofs and slits. As I explained you, slanting roofs is also there. This is example of slanting roofs and slits. Thick mud walled houses found in Rajasthan. Now, now they have also told us that what type of activities people are involved in. Yes, yes, we can see people are engaged in activities such as agriculture, farming, fishery, foresting, crafts, and working and trade. All those primary occupations such as farmers, agriculture होते हैं. You know, farmers are staying in villages, so they are involved in rural areas. Let's come to urban areas. Now, towns में कैसे घर होते? We all live in towns, don't we? So look around yourself and observe what is the type of settlement. You can see permanent houses. Can you see a brick house, a mud house there? No. We can see permanent houses using cement, bricks and iron pillars. People are engaged not in primary activities. ये farming, fishing, foresting, ये सब होते हैं villages में. But in towns, what your parents do? Are there in services? They are working in banks, some are doctors, some are teachers, some are in manufacturing services. So this is the occupation of people who are living in towns. I hope so far things are clear to all of you. Fine. Okay, so I have pasted here few images. What do you think of these images? Is this example of rural or urban area? You need to tell me. I think this is an example of rural area because we can see slanting roofs and houses which are having greenery in them. But this is an example of city or let's say urban area where we can see permanent houses. This is an example of rural area. Yes, because there are muddy houses which are not permanent in nature. Now, I want you all to elaborate, think and reflect on this question. Now list the reasons. You need to tell me why scattered settlement is found in rural areas and compact settlement is found in urban areas. What could be the basic differences between all of them? Yes? Yes. So I want reasons. So what can be the main possible reason for the scattered area? Now, if I am drawing over here, you need to tell me advantages as well and disadvantages as well of the scattered and urban areas. Now, if there is rural areas, we see that there are houses which are built over an extensive open area. There is no boundary or bondage कि छोटी छोटी जगह में घर बनाने हैं. They are scattered. Secondly, we can see they are scattered because of forest region, mountain region and everything which is found near them. So this is yet another example of scattered rural areas. Now why there are compact settlements in urban area? When it comes to urban area, it should immediately click on a mind that it is having less area to build your houses. So whatever area you are left with, you need to build your house in that particular area. You cannot demand हमको इतना बड़ा घर चाहिए, मुझे इतनी बड़ी balcony चाहिए, I want garden in front and back. Whatever amount of land you are getting, you need to adjust and compensate with that. So less land, less extensive area are examples of compact settlements in urban area because there are huge towns, tall buildings and skyscrapers which are found in the urban areas and cities. Fine. So in this way we can list the reasons why scattered settlements are found in rural areas and in compact settlements in urban area. Now, in which of the following settlements are people engaged in activities like fishing, agriculture and craft work? हमने कहाँ पे पढ़ा था? You need to think which type of people do. People who are living in cities, they do this type of work? No. They go to offices. They are in manufacturing, IT services. So people who are staying in villages, good, they are involved in such type of activities. Now, so where are they staying? They are staying in rural settlements. Forest is also not the correct answer. Fine, students. Now, yes, I have pasted this image which is there on the screen. What can you think? Which type of transportation are this showing? Okay, I can see that we have aeroplane, we have ships, we have trains, we have cars, we have buses. So what are these used for? These are vehicles? Yes. If these are vehicles, so what are these used for, students? To go from one place to another, to travel from one place to another. Yes, for traveling purpose. So these are transport, which we use for traveling purposes. Fine. Now, what do you mean by transport? Now we just saw in the image that this is aeroplane, this is bus, this is sheep, this is railway train, and this is a car. So we use these different types of transports in order to go from one place to another. So transport means traveling to places, and with the help of these different types of transports we can go from one place to another. Suppose I am not having enough time. I am in Delhi and I want to go to Bombay tomorrow. How will I go by car or will by bus or by train? It will take me 36 to 48 hours. I cannot wait. I need to reach there tomorrow. So I will take aeroplane, which is the fastest mode of transport, and I will reach Delhi to Bombay in 2.5 hours. So by this we can take. But it is also one of the most expensive. Yes. Now, what is the basic definition and meaning of transport? Now, transportation is a way of movement where people are moving from one place to another, like movement of human beings and goods from one place to another. Not only human beings are going, goods are also going, transported from one place to another. Goods, for example, you saw a very good sofa at a mall in Bangalore. Now you are staying in Bombay. You need that sofa which is there only in Bangalore. So that sofa on your request will be transported from Bangalore to Bombay. So goods are also getting transported and human beings are also getting transported. So the use of transportation depends upon our need to move things from one place, from their availability to other place of their use. Just now in case of that sofa, we saw that sofa was available in Bangalore, but he needed it in Bombay. So that was transported from Bangalore to Bombay because it is required for own use. Human beings also use various methods to move goods, commodities, and people from one place to another. You can send that in sofa in airplane also if it is very lightweight. You can ship, you can courier, you can use a bus, you can use a train. There are different and various methods of transportation. Fine. Now, in our country, whenever we are thinking and speaking of India, in our country, donkeys, mules, and bullocks and camels they were a part of transportation in previous traditional times. Now, in Andes Mountains of South America, still llamas are used and yaks in Tibet are used. Now, in the current 2022 scenario, do you observe any donkeys or any bullocks or camels for transportation? Do you see people are sitting on these donkeys and camels and they are traveling? Is it the same today? Definitely it's not the same. Today we don't see. These things don't happen today. So the answer is no. We don't see. But उसके बदले क्या आ गया है? Invention of wheel made transportation easier. Now with the passage of time, Now, earlier people used to travel like this. We have seen in so many traditional movies. This changed into evolution and this got into this. Now, coming of wheels, engines, latest technologies, and goods and services. Now, we are using better modes of transport. Now, modern means of transport have also come. Now, modern means of transport saves time and they also save energy. The four major means of transport are roadways. Roadways mean scooter, bike, car, railways, trains, waterways, ships and ferries, and airways में planes. Fine. These are the four major means of transport, and with the help of these four major means of transport, we can go from one place to another. Not only we can go, if we want to send any sort of product or commodity or any part of goods for parcel, we can use these four major means of transport, and we can also send those goods from one part of the corner of the city and country to the other corner of the city. Fine. Now there is a question for all of you. List the different modes of transport which is used by the students of your class while coming to school. Now when I am asking this question, students, you need to comment in the chat box that what type of modes of transport your friends are using. Okay, now if you will say, ma'am, my friend John, he comes in a school bus. You see him in a school bus. Secondly, a girl will come in a personal car with her father and mother. Okay. One person will come in maybe scooter. Yes. Scooter or any sort of two-wheeler, bike. Yes. Now you cannot say, ma'am, my friend comes in aeroplane, my friend comes in railway, he uses a bullock cart. No. You need to observe your friend, ask your friends that which are the modes of transport that you use. So if you are coming to school, we can have only three modes of transport. Fine, students. I hope the concept which we have studied today up until here things are clear to all of you. Now, in earlier times, what did people consider as a mean of transport? Now think this from the image which I show you, that a person was sitting on a bullock cart and he was holding one stick and then he was riding on the wheels. So in earlier times, ox, people used camels, and people use buffaloes. So these were the traditional animals that was used by the people to transport either human beings or goods and commodities from one place to another in earlier times. But now the trend and things have changed. Now people don't use these things because we have four different types of major transport: roadways, railways, air transport, and water transport. So these are the four major types of transport. Now, so today, students, we have learned about settlement. Now in settlement, we see that we have scattered settlement, we have compact settlement, we have urban settlement, we have rural settlement. Urban means cities, compact settlement are there in urban settlement. And in scattered settlement, we have seen rural areas में villages, how they are there in extensive area, they are found in extensive area. Yes, so these are the examples of compact and scattered settlement. Now apart from settlement, we also studied about transport. Which type of transport is found in your country, which is famous in your area, your friends come through which type of transport. Suppose you want to go to one place and you want to reach that place in 2 to 3 hours, so which is the best possible means of transport you will be using for that. So with the help of these examples, you can say that transport plays a very major role in lives and in our parts. Fine. So before we end our today's session was very interesting. So define settlement. Now settlement in your simple terms, students, you can always define settlement as a place where people are living and having built their own houses. Now, settlement can be of two types. The first answer is clear. Now, different types of settlements. So, settlement can be permanent settlement and they can be temporary. Now, permanent में क्या features होते हैं? People build permanent, huge, long houses. They live over there permanently, right? And they stay there for 5 to 7 years minimum. Maximum is entire lifetime. But temporary, mein they build house caves. They build houses on trees. They live in caves, and they stay there for a period of 3 to 4 months or even less or even up to a period of 6 months. So उससे कम होगा तो temporary में आ जाते हैं. What is transport? Now transport we saw a mode through which we can go from one place to another is known as transport. Give a brief history of transport development. So we can also say that evolution of transport took place. Earlier people in ancient times, in olden times, in traditional times, people used to watch and they used to use camels, ox, buffaloes, such type of animals for going from one place to another. Then wheel was invented, so invention of wheel will also be given. Yes, wheel was having spikes, and then transport came, two-wheelers, four-wheelers, and eventually buses were there. So this brings to the end of the topic, that is what is settlement and transportation. So now there's a very good homework for all of you. You need to conduct a survey in your locality and find out how people commute from the respective workplaces using more than two modes of transport. If someone is going to school and teach, if someone is going to office for work, so what are the types of transport they use? Railways, roadways, waterways, or airways? More than two modes of transport? People are using three types of transport, or people are staying within walking distance? So you need to do an extensive survey and write it down in your activity notebooks. So I hope the concept of transportation and settlements was clear to all of you students. If you have any sort of doubt, please feel free to comment in the chat box and I'll get back to you shortly. And keep on liking, sharing and subscribing my YouTube videos for further information. Till then, goodbye students. Take care, study and learn hard. Goodbye students.